What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Welcome back, Mr. Cleavon Steele, young Sam Rothstein. We about to blow that out the water. But welcome back, Cleavon. Thanks for Cleavon take a week off to kind of plant some flowers and smell the roses and spend the time with the family, man. Well, we appreciate having you back, good guy.
Thanks so much.
Um, but we still got some stuff to discuss here, like Sammy Watkins and his 50 catches. He needs some big games this week. He needs the big games in those last 3 weeks to eclipse that mark right there. He's just shy of 30. I think he can make it. I think he can make it. He might. It's going to take in historical events, but that one's not over with right there. And we're going to revisit, fans. If you just take a look at the ticker, we got some things that Cleveland and I has been discussing throughout the season. Some of them before the season, and we're going to see where Cleveland is at because with some of the things, preposterous statements that he makes. We're gonna see where he's at, and this is one of them. And we're gonna revisit all this. This is part of our show, Voice of the Fans, week 171. Cleveland, I want to thank you once again for participating in the show, for your participation throughout the years, man. We appreciate it. Cleveland, in this episode, we're gonna recap the NFL. We're gonna recap week 14 in the NFL. We're gonna preview week 15 in the NFL. Currently, we got the Niners putting it on your guy Ryan Tannehill. Has he completed a pass tonight?
Cam, I haven't been paying that much attention
Oh,
lately.
you're right,
Unfortunately,
right. Yeah, of
Ryan
course. That's how it
Tannehill has
goes.
been,
What? Realized? What? When the life is different, when you don't have
I
Derrick
knew
Henry,
you were waiting to jump on this. I knew you were waiting to jump on this, man. He's been put in a position where he's not in a, position of strength right now, and he's not able to do what he's really capable of doing
not.
with his, accentuates his positives. So, unfortunately, that's where
Position of
he's at
strength.
right now.
Position of strength. Huh? That's where you're going.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, in other words, he's been stinking it up. Is what you're saying. That's basically what you're saying.
I didn't say that. I said
without Derrick Henry, the guy who's dangerous of breaking multiple rushing records, Ryan Tannehill has been stinking it up. That's what it sounds like to me. That's exactly what that sounds like to me. In summary, I just summarized the
offensive line, COVID. I mean, he's had to deal with quite a few different obstacles and challenges. And he's just doing the best he can.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, this is the real Ryan Tannehill. You guys asked the real Ryan Tannehill to stand up. We see it what it is in the month of December. This is the real Ryan Tannehill. And now the Bet Tennessee fans are saying, "Would you please exit the door, exit the room?" Nonetheless, we're gonna review again. We're gonna preview some games. We're gonna reveal our power ranking. Now we didn't have Cleveland last week, so we'll see how things fluctuate with Cleveland and his power rankings. We're gonna look at that. We got this week in the NBA. We got this week in history, and we're gonna talk about my fantasy football team in the championship right now. We're in the conference championship right now. We're gonna talk about that and then ask Cleveland where he is amongst his fantasy teams and what he has going on. So we're gonna have that discussion. Um, so we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, we're a couple of days away from Christmas, man. I want to thank you, Cleveland, for tuning in to your participation in the Voice of the Fan, December 23, 2021, week 171. We're going to take a look at these numbers, Cleveland. When you think of number 23, who wore that number best or who come to your mind first?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah. He wore it best? I agree. But here we go again, typical Cleveland fashion. He neglects anybody that went to the UW gets no attention in this category. So somebody like Nesby Glasgow doesn't get any recognition from Cleveland, right?
Doesn't come to mind and didn't wear it the best. So unfortunately, no disrespect to Nesby.
Marcus Trufant.
True, loved him. Loved Mark.
No,
but
no
no,
recognition. No recognition. Okay.
that doesn't mark either one of those boxes. So
Doesn't register. Okay. I mean, that's at least he keeps it real, but he gives no love to anybody that roam the campus down there in Montlake. He gives no love to him. What about the number 71? What, Alex Karras? What was the show that he played in? I can't. I've been trying to think of that damn show. It was Webster actually. That was the name of the show, Webster, where he was a ex football player, and that was he more famous for Webster or more famous for his time on the football field?
he's more famous for Webster.
Okay,
That's
so is that
unfortunate, but no, that's not the first person that comes to mind. For
that's
me,
not the
206, your Hall of Fame left tackle Walter Jones is the first person to come to mind, and he actually wore it the best.
Walter Jones, huh? Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Cleveland. Now I have to go back to last Thursday night on you. Did you watch the Chargers game versus the Kansas City Chiefs? Did you have time to soak it in? I know you had other things, pressing matters that you're dealing with, but did you have time to kind of watch the recap of that game?
I did not get a chance to filter or digest too much other than Sports Center highlights and kind of watching the way that Travis Kelsey kind of took over the game late and brought the Kansas City Chiefs a victory.
So,
I'm assuming that from what I've been hearing that it was a lot more high percentage, big time gambles, trying to bet on your team kind of decisions from Coach Staley that didn't work in their advantage, somewhat backfired maybe,
I don't know, backfired. I don't know where you get
or at least weren't
backfire.
successful in what it was that he was trying to do. Kind of instill that culture and confidence, but it just didn't pan out. Is that kind of what happened?
Well, I mean, it really does. I'm gonna do the game a lot of disrespect by trying to give the breakdown because it's something you have to experience actually. So when you take the initial drive and drive it 85 yards to the 1 yard line, and then you decide to go for it on first, second, third down, you is all passes, and then you decide to go for it on fourth down. It's hard to be mad at the man when he said all season long he's going to put the ball in the player's best hands. And he put the ball in Justin Herbert's hands. And incomplete pass on fourth down, he turns the ball over. Chiefs go down and score. Well, when the Chargers get the ball back again, they drive it inside the goal line, or inside the, not goal line, excuse me, inside the red zone. And they failed to come away with points. It's on fourth down again, they go for it. So now they're all 0 for 2 on fourth down in the second quarter against the Kansas City Chiefs. If I remember correctly, it's a 3-point game, 10-7 at halftime. 14, no, the Chargers are actually up at halftime. Even not converting their first fourth down opportunities. It comes in the third quarter, they get their next opportunity. They get the next opportunity they have, fourth and goal inside the 10-yard line again, and they go for it and they don't convert. So the uproar was like, how many times are you going to allow your team to? We understand you're sticking with your method, your methodology, and we understand you kind of riding with your team and being putting the ball in your best player's hands, and we understand all that. But first time, second time, and third time, either one of those, you kick a field goal. Either one of those times, the game does not go into overtime. Where Travis Kelsey gets loose, and it's Travis Kelsey goes with Derwin James on the field. He's one pass, 11 yards. Without Derwin James on the field, he's 11 receptions, 190 yards rush catching. So I think it's safe to say Derwin James makes a difference in that situation. However, they didn't have Derwin James the second half of that game, and it showed. Travis Kelsey on their first drive in overtime, Travis Kelsey catches amounts to be like a 15 to 16-yard pass. Um, Makes good enough for the first down. He takes it. He makes a jab step to go upfield and just kind of jabs left or jabs right, excuse me, and spins back left. And when he did that, it was like, when the hydroplanes are coming down the backstretch and then they have this wake that they just blow all the water is behind them. That's what it looked like. The Chargers deep defenders look like the wake of Travis Kelsey trying to chase him down as he runs into the end zone. I thought it was an absolutely embarrassing um, display by their secondary. Poor tackling, poor angles that they took, and they allowed Travis Kelsey just to run away with the ball game. Um, so it was poor. It was the fourth down efficiency was 2 for 5, which obviously was terrible, and then poor tackling. It might have cost them the division. I didn't have the Chargers winning the AFC West this season, but they were in position to do so, and that loss to the Chiefs might have cost them the division. He still don't want to talk about the Chargers, fans.
No, I can talk about it. I mean, I know that perhaps we're a little bit too close to the situation to really see you can't really see the forest and the trees, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, man, it comes down to very simple gambling on your team. When you do that, you have to win. If you don't win those, you will lose. I mean, it sounds very simple and very elementary, but much like you're saying, a much more conservative approach to how they handled that game in those fourth downs would have yielded a different result, in your opinion, and they would be 9-5, sitting way, way different than this 8-6 in this dogfight, and having everybody looking around at themselves like, man, can we do it when it counts? Can we get it done? What happened this time? And I'm so happy that the coach has confidence in us that he continues to go for it, in these situations. Trying to reinforce that culture and that mindset, and that mentality. But you have to convert, man. And when you don't, this is what you end up at. And if you do this a few more times and you don't convert, you'll be looking at next season like, man, what could we have done with some field goals on fourth down, as opposed to trying to impose our will on other teams and trying to establish our presence of authority that didn't really exist. So sometimes it's just kick the field goal, man, and just get the 3 points, and or go up by that extra 3 points or whatever the case may be, as opposed to trying to break somebody's jaw every time.
Yeah, well, and again, I'm 100% with Staley. Um, I knew it
Of
wasn't
course you
even
are. Of course you are.
it wasn't even worth asking him the question of your thoughts. Why did you
Right.
go for it on fourth down? Because I knew from week 4 what he was going to say. He wanted to put the ball in the best player's hands. I get it, 100% with
And you
that.
should just wear those sunglasses with the lightning bolts that go across the frames. Put those on, man.
Put those on.
Put the bolt blinders. Yeah, the
The
bolt
bolt
blinders are
the
going.
bolt blinders. No, it's not even like that. It's just being realistic, improving reality. Um, that these guys is they're doing something good out here. Staley has changed the culture out there. He got these guys playing more confident, and evidence of that is even after the game. The guys were a lot more confident than they have been after losses because they knew they were right there. They knew
I
had
hear
it
a lot.
been
I hear a lot of that coming out of Detroit as well, with Coach Campbell.
Oh, no, it's quite a bit different, but that's okay. If you want to put Staley with Coach Campbell, I mean that's fair. That's fair enough. Um, but there's a distinct difference there. So, what do you think about the Colts running all over the Patriots, man? Um, Carson Wentz he completed 5 passes in the game. So the Patriots had a game where they allowed their quarterback to throw 3 times. A couple weeks later, they play a team where the opposing quarterback completes 5 passes in that game. And what do you think about Taylor going off for 29 and 170?
Was surprised that he was able to do it. Certainly, given the fact that the Jizza, Bill Belichick, the genius, had a chance to do some things and prepare a little bit extra longer and didn't have an answer or a solution. That just goes to show you that special talent can get things done in this NFL when sometimes, people think that, smarter heads prevail. No, it's the talent on the field. And this time Jonathan Taylor showed that's who he was.
Mm, mm. I know that I heard that little dig in there. I don't know who are you referring to? With smarter head prevail and talent prevails. Were you referring to anything specific?
Well, I know that you and I always kind of get into this argument on different levels as to whether it's coaching or talent, and I always sided with the talent. And this time it was another clear representation of talent prevailing over coaching. But I don't know how many examples you need, but probably will take some more.
Wait. So you're telling me the Colts being in the playoff run, going on, what's their record been? What's their run been? Like 7-1 in recent weeks?
No, it hasn't been that significant. No.
That's you. Hold on, let's double check this. You're telling me that the Colts in recent weeks, their resurgence is a matter of talent and not coaching. That's what I'm supposed to understand.
No, we were talking about this specific game with regards to the Patriots against the Colts and
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor having a monster game,
yeah,
adverse, Carson Wentz not throwing any passes. And
yeah.
I was just saying that's a situation where Bill Belichick, the Jizza, the genius, most likely had a game plan that just didn't work because the
Mm.
talent prevailed. And as I was saying, I always sided with the talent, whereas you tend to side with the coaching in schemes and plots and plans to stop certain things. But it just wasn't the case on Saturday, or last Saturday, I should say.
No, well, the Colts have won. They won what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven out of the last 9 games. The Colts have won. Only losses to Buccaneers and the Tennessee Titans. Um, so they've been on a little run there. And to your point, Jalen Hurts, he's proven that um, he does have the ability, despite the coaching, to kind of lead his team to a win here recently. Um, what do you think about Jalen Hurts for the
Them
Philadelphia?
Alabama quarterbacks, man, they watch our show, man, and they're eating my words. They either have the Euphoria hat up on their dartboard, and all three of them are going to make the playoffs. Ain't that crazy? All three of those Alabama quarterbacks are going to make the playoffs out of nowhere. Who would have
Mm.
thought? I certainly didn't think so. But
Yeah, we're gonna get to your
Jalen's
playoff
going to be the
predictions
third
here.
one in the mix, and it's going to be kind of crazy. Give
I
Nick
mean, well,
Saban, and I don't like give Nick Saban. I don't like to give little Nicky a lot of credit, but he's got three playoff quarterbacks.
well,
Who else can say that?
I don't think he's been referred to as Little Nicky for quite some time. So that's an interesting little name you
Oh, he's
threw out
always
of
going
him.
to be little Nicky. I mean,
I,
that's just his
I, I
deal.
don't I don't think that I don't think they've heard that name. He's heard that name since his days running around the streets of Michigan, or Michigan State, maybe. But with the departure of the Seattle Seahawks not in the playoffs, that leaves an opening. Russell Wilson, got his bags packed. Him and Sierra is packing up the house. It takes a long time to get 10 years packed up. I'll tell you that, man. I'll tell you that from experience. So, um, Cleveland, I was at the game the other night, Monday or Tuesday night game, weird game, weird game Tuesday night in the NFL. Safeco Field, first time in there as a fan.
SoFi.
Uh, so what I say, Safeco? I always say that, but SoFi Field, in there for the first time as a fan. Um, Russell Wilson, man, he didn't look good. I can tell you that he missed several opportunities. Open receivers were wide open that he was short or late on getting the ball to. Without we're in LA, so we didn't get the replays like you would get on TV of just every play that happens. We're in the stadium, so they're only showing LA Rams replays. But he didn't look good. just missing open shots, missing open balls. Clearly, they can't. They didn't run the ball too effectively. Um, I will say though that the game wasn't. They didn't get blown out, and that was a pass interference on the running back. However, why did running back have to almost stop and come back to the ball? Why was the ball so far behind him? You know what I mean? And that's another example of kind of the passing, the effectiveness we saw from Russell this past week. Talk to me about what you see out of Russell Wilson. Is he throwing it in these final weeks as a Seahawk? And where do you expect Russell to be next year?
Combination of all those things. A good friend of mine said he looks a little punch drunk. A little punch drunk. Maybe mid-season concussed. He just doesn't look himself. He's missing a lot of throws. I don't think that there's any equation where he will be here next year. Where he will be, I don't know.
Unfortunately for him, with this recent play, he's not going to be able to command, Super Bowl winning ticket, Super Bowl winning quarterback ticket, 10-year veteran ticket. I think his ticket is shrinking. What do you think about that? I don't think
I still think he has a tremendous amount of value, and I still think that people other than this season, I mean, he had never missed a game until this season. So I think that they understand that if they put a solid running game, a decent defense, and protection around him, he can do big things. That just hasn't been the case around here in Seattle in a couple of years. Last year they were 12-4. That was kind of, I think we're all seeing smoke and mirrors, and kind of camouflage a lot of the deficiencies that this team has. And as we're continuing to go forward, we're starting to see them kind of, come to light. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a winning proposition here. I know that a lot of fans have kind of, made it Russ or Pete type of situation, but I think it's too late for that. I think that, probably both of them will go.
Whoa. We talked only 2 weeks ago. You told me Pete Carroll had the city paid for his penthouse in Lake Union, and he got free Uber rides across town. He had 2 years before they even plugged in the heater for us.
I did say that he had that, but I've been hearing that ownership is not happy. Like to the point where there may need to be a change, and we'll just have to see what happens.
Whoa, we got shock breaking news, fans. Yeah. Cleveland has went in 2 days, in 2 weeks, in 14 days. Cleveland has changed from he has carte blanche in Seattle to now he might be out the door. So let me ask you a question. That's a whole nother. Woof. Does that mean are the Seahawks going to go quarterback or coach? Which one are we keeping, or are they both out the door? They can't be both out the door, and you don't even have a successor to your quarterback.
Boy, I wouldn't be surprised to see them both out, but at this point, I think it's 60-40 Russ.
Wow. So the coach is your coach, the golden Pete Carroll. You just thrusted him out the door just like that.
I didn't. I'm just saying ownership. Like. I'm just saying ownership is that disappointed in the direction of the team.
Interesting, man. Fan. Well, you heard it here from our Northwest correspondent, Mr. Cleveland Steele, young Sam Rothstein, that Pete Carroll should be Pete Carroll packing his bags and not Sierra and Russell. That's what a revelation that is. We're gonna have to keep our eye on that. Cleveland, keep the fans posted on what happens, the next steps of this. I guess family's breakup we're seeing here. We're going to see here pretty soon. That's interesting. Well, as we know, Russell didn't make the Pro Bowl with his performance this season. Nor did the quarterback in the 305. Somebody probably overestimated his value, his worth. He didn't make the Pro Bowl either. So I guess they're right in the same boats, huh? But making the Pro Bowl, somebody who did make the Pro Bowl was that tight end out of Atlanta, Mr. Kyle Pitts. Now, Cleveland, you were pretty adamant that not only would Kyle Pitts not be a factor in this NFL, you said he would be so minimalized in the NFL, he would not make the Pro Bowl. Go ahead and explain to the people why you thought this.
Because I didn't think that he would make that significant of an impact for the Atlanta Falcons, and he hasn't, and he doesn't deserve the Pro Bowl.
He made the Pro Bowl. Now you're gonna say he doesn't have no impact and he doesn't deserve it. Oh man, that sounds like a little saltiness right there. The man makes a Pro Bowl and you can't even give him no love. Okay, all right, that's your doing. So we see the Pro Bowlers. Were you surprised that Justin Herbert is an AFC starter in the Pro Bowl? Did that surprise you at all?
A little bit. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has been a little bit up and down. Same with, Burrow. Josh Allen has not proven to be extraordinary by any shape, form, or fashion.
Oh, really?
Lamar Jackson has been very up and down. So, I guess with regards to, kind of what your talent pool is, I mean, he's as deserving as anybody.
So not only does Justin Herbert make the Pro Bowl, he has 5 of his buddies off the team make the Pro Bowl as well. Keenan Allen makes his Pro Bowl for the 5th time. Derwin James make the Pro Bowl for a 2nd time. Corey Linsley makes the Pro Bowl for his 1st time. Joey Bosa makes the Pro Bowl for his 1st time. Rashawn Slater makes the Pro Bowl. I mean, did you get a look at Slater all season?
I did get a chance to take some glimpses at Slater. He's nice.
Wow, so there's a lot of tools that the coach has to play with in Los Angeles. There's a lot of tools right there.
Yeah, let's see who they have coming up here on their.
They got the Houston Texans.
Thanks for pulling that up, Cam, for me. Hit me up real quick.
They got the Denver Broncos and they got the LA Raiders. So that last game, it might be for the spot in the division. They go ahead and do what they're supposed to do against Houston. Do what they're supposed to do against the Broncos. That last game, January 9th, will be for a couple things. Will be for my $100 from coming courtesy of Cleveland Steel, and a chance for them to get into the playoffs, because that will be their 11th win if they're able to win these next 3 games, win out. So that's what we're looking for here around this town. That's what we're looking for. My $100 right there if the Chargers win 11 games, which predicted earlier this year, and it looks like they're right on target for that. It looks like they're right on target for that. Rookie of the year. Who you got as rookie of the year offensively? Is it Mac Jones? You know what?
I'd have to go with the paper chase myself, personally.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'd have to go with the paper chase. Who are you going with?
Mac Jones is rookie of the year. What are you talking about? Let's look at some numbers here. Here's Cleveland here just making. See, Cleveland, he uses his things with his emotions. He's a little emotional sometimes and doesn't want to look at reality. 69% completion percentage, 3,100 yards, 18 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, 9-5 record.
That's the rookie of the year? Offensive? 18 and 10?
70% completion rating? Let's see what Jamar Chase did.
Yeah, let's see what he did.
Let's see. Did he crack 1,000 yards receiving? Oh, barely. 61 receptions, 138 yards receiving. 1,038 yards receiving.
Okay.
Yard per reception, 17. I mean, those are solid numbers.
How many touchdowns?
10 TDs. Those are good numbers. Those are good numbers.
So they got 3 games left.
I mean, I would definitely take that in South Florida. Don't get me wrong, but we know the man.
You see why you don't get. You see why you're blocked.
I mean,
You
what?
see
Don't
why
get
you're
me.
blocked, man.
I mean, those numbers don't look like
305 is just fine with the receiver they have. Thanks. Although it's kind of almost interchangeable, but the paper chase is doing what he's supposed to be doing there.
he's doing good. I think Mac Jones is the offensive rookie of the year. Who do you got a defensive rookie of the year? I mean, there's only really one choice. I think it is.
I have to go with Parsons.
Yeah, you got kind of have to. The impact he's had across the league. Some things just don't show up in stat lines, but when they try to evoke your name with the same name as Lawrence Taylor, I mean that says something. And these are reputable NFL, knowledgeable NFL um, people making these comments. So 12 sacks, 57 solo tackles, 3 forced fumbles. I mean, his impact gets him the rookie of the year on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive player of the year. Is this? I mean, it's kind of one guy walking away with it right now, isn't it? The offensive player of the year award, that'd be Jonathan Taylor, kind of seizing the moment. And
Oh boy, I don't know about that. I mean, I think Cooper Kupp might have a little bit to say, and I think A
Cooper
Rod
Kupp,
might have a little bit to say as well. I don't know if Jonathan Taylor's running away with it.
You got Cooper Kupp in the battle, Mister. You got him in the conversation for
Cooper Kupp
offense.
and A Rod for sure. Yeah, they're in the conversation for offensive player of the year. Yeah.
13 yards of reception, 14 TDs, 122. I think he leads the league. He just broke the Rams record. I know in catches per season, and they're still. See, this is one of the awards. Like it's going to happen a lot where you see guys breaking their season single records in that final week 17 game. But here we are, week 15 or week 14, and he's broken the team's catching record with still 2 games to go before week 16 and still another game to go, right? So we're going to see him extend this one. 122 receptions, 1,600 yards. So you figure if he catches another 2 games, he can get 1875. He's approaching Megatron's record. What is Megatron record? 1894, I believe. Something like that. I think he was just shy of 1,900 yards receiving because he didn't catch 2,000. He was just shy. He was just shy of. He was just shy of two 2,000 yards receiving. I'm trying to look this up real quick. Why am I having a brain fart on his name? What's his name? Who am I thinking of? Detroit Megatron. What's his name?
Calvin Johnson.
Why am I having a brain fart? So this is going to be a legitimate 1964 of what it did. He went 1681 and then 1964. 122 yards, 122 receptions, 16 yards a catch. He's only caught 5 TDs that season, but he had 1964. And Cooper Kupp, his he's approaching that number. He's about 300 yards shy of it, but I mean 100 yards a game. He got 3 games to go. He can get there. He's about 350 yards shy of it. So I don't know what kind of credit you give him for getting there. What kind of chance you give him for breaking that Calvin Johnson record?
I give him an excellent opportunity to get there. They were a pass-happy offense, and there's 3 games left, and their running game is not that strong. He is by far their best offensive player right now.
So I had for the MVP, Now, I think Aaron Rodgers has a say in this MVP race. Um, Jonathan Taylor, I think, has a say in this MVP race. Can Cooper Cup? I actually have Justin Herbert and Watt for the Pittsburgh Steelers also in this MVP race. Who do you think wins the NFL MVP this season?
Aaron Rodgers.
Hands down, without question. Enough said.
Enough said.
He done put enough appearances on the punter show, Pat McAfee, that he's earned himself a MVP.
Yes.
What about Coach of the Year? It goes back to his rightful owner, Bill Belichick. The Belichick Award goes to Bill Belichick.
I don't know. Flores is doing a hell of a job down there turning those Dolphins.
Stop! Come on, stop it, man. So you trying me, man. You trying to get me going. Look here. Let me give you an analogy. Do you remember watching a Purdue quarterback some years ago? Purdue quarterback would, in the first half, throw a touchdown and 3 interceptions, and would go into the locker room with his team down 21-7 against an unranked team. And then that same quarterback will come out in the third or fourth quarter and throw 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and then the world is like, oh, he turned it around. Oh, this guy is great. Look at him. He comes back in the second half of the game. He's able to clean up his mistakes and then throw these 3 interceptions or 3 touchdown passes. So now it looks like his stats are 4 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions for 375 yards passing, and a great comeback. Does that sound familiar to you? Whose career does that remember you? It was a Purdue quarterback, and you know the guy fairly well. Who does that sound like to you?
Man, I don't know. You were trying to make a college analogy about the NFL, and it just didn't translate for me.
Here's my point. Here's my point. That quarterback was Drew Brees. In the fourth quarter, they praised Drew Brees like he was Dan Marino, but they totally ignored the fact that Drew Brees was the one putting him in the hole. Oh, Drew Brees has another comeback where he's down double digits. Well, Drew Brees threw 3 interceptions in the first half. 2 of them were pick 6. So how can I turn around and now give him a lot of credit for pulling his team out of the hole when he put his team in the hole? You follow what I'm saying? And this is what we're seeing here with Brian Flores. This is his 3rd year coaching. In each of his 3rd years, he's gotten off to a bad start where the team is 2-5, 2-6, and then they get on when the rest of the NFL is actually playing for something. They see Miami Dolphins on the schedule. They go to sleep when they go to Miami. They take a few hours. They come in early to get a few more hours of playtime when they get to Miami, or when Miami goes to Buffalo, the teams sleep in a little later. So to give Brian Flores his credit, like he's doing something special, this is his go-to move. Late start, have a bad start, and kick a strong finish. Well, that strong finish, buddy, now that you're out the mix, that strong finish, you have to look a little closer at that finish and say, what is going on? The teams are overlooking the Dolphins by the second half of the season when he's getting his W's. Okay? When Tua Tagovailoa is throwing for 177-yard passing in a football game. That's what the Dolphins are doing with no running game. Okay? They go get 100. The only time the Miami Dolphins had a running back rush for 100 yards, and this is you who told me all season long they don't need a running back. They're good. And I see you smirking over there because you know you got to be talking about these Dolphins. But the only time that these Dolphins have had a rusher rush for over 100 yards this season is when they find a guy off the scrap heap, Duke Johnson. Because both of their running backs got COVID, they need to bring somebody in. Oh, look, what do you know? Somebody actually rushes for over 100 yards because those guys they had can't get the job done. At Cleveland, how many times? How long have I told you that they need a legit running back in the backfield? I told you those two guys weren't the ones to get it done. Oh no, they're good. Oh no, they went to Montlake. Oh, these guys are great. Told you, Cleveland. Those guys aren't the one. I told you this. So now we go get Duke Johnson proves my point. That you get a legitimate running back there, which they passed up on Jonathan Taylor in the draft. They passed on DeAndre Swift in the draft. They passed on Najee Harris in the draft. This is what the Miami Dolphins did in the last 2 years, passed on these guys. And they decided to bring in somebody like Albert Wilson as their free agent to pick up. Cleveland, you and I know Albert Wilson. He being
okay,
there,
Cam. I've had enough. I've had enough Dolphin bashing. Okay, the Dolphins can quite possibly make the playoffs right now.
Oh my
okay,
you gotta quit it.
In the season with
how much is Steve Nelson paying you?
10-win seasons.
How much is Steve Nelson paying you? That's what I want to know.
Not paying me anything. It's kind of what I've been seeing. It's a feel good story. I mean, look at what they've been through.
That's a feel good story.
They've been through. They started out so dejected, so many things going wrong. People wanting to trade, this quarterback for a serial rapist in Houston. People want to throw him out with the bathwater. And all he has done is, stay faithful to Ohana, to family, and try and get through tough times. And look where he's at, 7-7. This team is wonderful, man. They're on the cusp of doing something that no one thought they could do. So, yeah, I'm sticking with him. Playoff season. As quickly as you were able to rattle off the Los Angeles Chargers schedule coming up these next 3 games, can you do the same for a team that you've rooted for 37 years?
Actually,
I'm so sorry. I'll handle it for you. I'll handle it for you.
That was a good one.
Saints, the Titans, and the Patriots. Saints, Titans, and the Patriots, and Patriots are at home. That last game, I don't know.
The Saints. I mean, the Saints. They got a third-string quarterback playing, Taysom Hill, or as you know,
Titans. I think they have some payback for Ryan Tannehill. The success that he's had after he's left them, so there's a little bit of bitterness there. And then, the last game against the genius, Bill Belichick, for that last playoff spot.
It'll be interesting, but I don't think they're going to be in the playoff. They're not going to be in the playoff hunt by week 17. We'll see what happens. But man, COVID has impacted the NFL. Like hockey has decided we're taking a break. Do you think the NFL should take a week off?
The NFL is taking no time off.
Well, no. So, are you good with the Tuesday night games? Are you good with the flex games, the moving or adjusting of the schedule to get these games in due to the impact of COVID?
I think it's horrible for the players. It's an unfortunate thing, but nothing is going to change. Nothing disrupts the cash cow. So.
I feel you, but what do you think? I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly, because we're gonna get to a situation where Aaron Rodgers, obviously we know he's not vaccinated. He gets to put in the 10-day, in the 10-day ruling, and are they going to treat that like the NBA treated LeBron James when he got his positive test? Oh, there are false positives going all around. We're going to ignore that one. It was a false positive. Yeah, right. Are they going to do the same thing though? Is the NFL going to screen false positive or the false negative? I guess
the NFL has shown no consistency with regards to how they're going to handle any particular case. So it's entirely impossible and difficult to say exactly what they're going to do.
Okay. All right, well, let's look at this past week, man. I want to look back at our predictions here a moment ago for earlier in the year, but this past week we had the Chiefs roll over the Chargers. We talked about that one. We talked about the Colts beating the Patriots, and the Steelers beat the Titans. Your guy Mike Tomlin, he continues to work hard and try to get these guys to follow him as best he can. What's your thoughts of the Steelers over the Titans?
Great coach. I believe I called that, Cam. So no surprise to me. I guess it's a little bit of a surprise to you. I mean, that's just what the Steelers do. Title town.
We had the Cardinals lose to the Lions. How surprised were you? Was that the most shocking surprise of the weekend, or was it the Bucs losing to the Saints?
Without question, that was the most shocking surprise of the weekend. I mean, the Lions only won one game, and the Cardinals were trying to quite potentially get a first round bye in the playoffs. So yeah, that hurt. That was a big surprise.
So we didn't talk to you last week, and you're so quick to give Brandon Staley crap for going for it on fourth down. Are you giving Harbaugh the same amount of abuse for him going for it on fourth down against the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, should have kicked it.
That was a little bit more easier discernible that he should have kicked the field goal. Yes. Cleveland, this week for the pick segment, you won the pick segment 12-11. Picks against the spread. I was 3-1 actually. Picks against the spread.
You were what?
Yeah, 3-1. The Jets plus 9.5, Houston plus 3.5, and Cincinnati plus 2.5. That's 3 wins, buddy. Let's look at the games that we got. The games we disagreed on and went different way. I had Cleveland over the Raiders. You had the Raiders over Cleveland. What you see in that game?
Just attrition at the quarterback position is what I was thinking.
We talked about the Colts over the Patriots. Arizona losing to the Lions. What a surprise, huh?
Yeah. The biggest surprise of the weekend.
Can Arizona right the ship here over the next couple of weeks?
Nope. They've been exposed.
Oh. Okay, we're going to talk about that in our predictions coming up. Tennessee and Pittsburgh, we just touched on that one. I had the Rams over the Seahawks. Why did you pick the Seahawks over the Rams?
I didn't think they were going to be able to bounce back from all of the COVID challenges that they were having, and I thought that the Seahawks would be able to ride the momentum of the 2-game winning streak. So,
and that fell. And that fell flat. And then we both had Tampa Bay, and they ended up losing to the Saints. So that was that there. Our confidence picks. I had Arizona as 1, San Francisco, Dallas, Green Bay, and Tampa Bay as a 5. And Arizona and Tampa Bay lost. So I'd sit 9 points in that last week. You had Tampa Bay as a 2. Well, you had Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Buffalo, and Arizona. So you had Tampa Bay as a 2 and Arizona as a 5, minus 7 points. So I won this week 9-8. Excuse me.
How do you win 9-8? You had a 5 and a 4.
No. I had a 1 and a 5 loss. My 1 and 5 loss.
Anyways, man.
Yeah,
okay.
You're 2 and 5 loss.
Way suspect, but okay.
I mean, it's Good right job, there.
Man. Good job, man.
It's right there
on
black and white.
Good job, man.
Yeah, you can be as salty as you want to be.
Man.
You can be as salty as you want to be. So before we move on to the next segment, let's look at our playoff predictions that we made before the season started. We in the NFC, I had the Buccaneers at the top of the division. You also had the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I had the Vikings. I'm not sure where that came from, but I had the Vikings having a solid season this year, making the playoffs. And the Packers. You didn't have the Vikings. And you didn't have the Vikings. You had the Packers. You didn't know Vikings. I had the Rams winning their division. No Rams in your playoff prediction. The Rams, the 49ers, the Washington football team, and the Seattle Seahawks. So the Washington football team and the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings are 3 of the 7 teams that won't be making it there. In the NFC, that was my NFC playoff picture. Your NFC playoff picture, you had the Washington football team, the Seattle Seahawks, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, San Francisco 49ers, and the Chicago Bears. And what happened to your Carolina Panthers?
Christian McCaffrey got hurt.
Oh, just like that?
Yeah.
And your Chicago Bears,
Poor coaching.
The coach hasn't changed, though. He's been the coach there this ain't a new coach.
Yeah, it's just poorer coaching than he's been doing. So, yeah.
So you feel confident that you have Washington football team won't make the playoffs, 49ers won't make the playoffs, Bears and the Panthers. So you had four or seven players.
Are we sure the Niners won't make the playoffs?
Pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, pretty sure right now. Yeah, I mean, this win over Tennessee, is this changing your mind?
Well, I mean, they have a much better opportunity to make the playoffs than before, right?
What's their record? Let's look at what their record is. I don't think the Niners are going to make it. They're 8-6. I don't think we're getting 3 teams out of NFC West. I don't think we're getting 3 teams out of NFC West this season. But they are 8-6. They're going to be 9-6 with this win today. So they're looking better than they did at the start of the season. AFC teams that we have. Oh, you don't want to look at the AFC teams?
No, I'm not quite sure what you're seeing about the Niners not making the playoffs. It's like, what other teams are going to make it? But okay, let's go to the AFC.
Hold on, wait. Let's talk this out. What do you mean? What other team is going to make it?
Cowboys are in the playoffs. The Packers are in the playoffs. The Buccaneers are in the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
The Cardinals are in the playoffs. That leaves 3 teams, right?
That's the Rams. The Rams are going to get there, right?
Okay. And then the Niners have the next best record. So why wouldn't they make the playoffs? The other teams are the Vikings, the Saints, and the Eagles.
Yeah,
they're better than all of those teams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was my point. But on to the AFC.
Yeah, they actually. You think 3 teams is going to make I was just saying 3 teams wasn't going to make it once the Rams and the
3 teams from that division are going to make the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if then you have the excuse that the AFC, the NFC West was so tough that 3 teams made it, and then you can bring Pete Carroll back because you don't want to throw them out because they competed in a division that had 3 teams make the playoffs. That's what you're going to say at the end of the year. So oddly enough, you are rooting for the Niners. Oddly enough.
No, that would mean that I was rooting for Pete Carroll to hold on to his job, and that's not what I'm rooting for. So,
well, I did have it. You and I both had the Niners in the playoffs. So at the beginning of the year, in the AFC playoffs, we got the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs at the top of the division.
Okay.
I had the Browns and the Steelers. Those are the Browns and the Steelers are the 2 teams I think that won't make the playoffs. The Titans, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chargers look like they were in position to make the playoffs. You had the Bills, the Ravens, the Browns, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Colts. Look at that. Looking like Sam Shadamas there got the Colts in the playoffs, huh?
Well, I mean, I know.
I mean, but you had the Steelers as well. But you had the Steelers also. So
2, 4.
Don't get too excited over there because you had the Steelers making the playoffs as well. Oh, now you're trying to mathematically figure the Steelers.
No, I'm just looking at it. Your Chargers just missed the cut, and the Dolphins just sneak in there.
So that's good. So that goes against what you've been saying from the start of the season that the Dolphins will not make the playoffs. I don't know that I have. Do I have that in this here somewhere? No, because you had the Dolphins not making the playoffs. Oh, let's look at this one.
I don't see that anywhere.
Do you see this one here? Do you see that one right there? Did we put something on that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we put something on that one.
I don't believe so.
Huh?
I don't believe so. Nor do I see this Dolphins not making the playoff stuff that you're talking about. I mean,
You know what you said.
maybe I didn't think that they would, a little bit in the beginning, but I mean, just the way they were just taking just so much heat from everybody. I mean, just people that were trying to say that they had been lifelong fans. I mean,
This is a crazy
Oh,
one.
this one makes my tummy just all warm right now.
This is a crazy one right here. So how far are we from this actually happening? Well, no, the Seahawks.
This is mathematically impossible happening. So
the Seahawks
I guess we can just make the reservations as soon as you're ready to go. This actually cannot happen.
There's
not enough games for this to happen.
Wow. What a prediction.
Yeah, sometimes when you just go just run up at the mouth, it just comes back like, man, I gotta do what?
Man. Oh man. Okay, so let's see. Oh man, that one's gonna hurt right there. That was gonna hurt right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know about this one here. We already know about that one.
Okay, that's fine. That was fine. That was fine. That one was a little bit of a reach.
I mean, this
talking
about a reach. Talking about a reach right there.
That one. Talking about. I'm gonna be saving up.
Talking about a reach, boy.
I'm gonna be saving up for June. Yes, that one does not look possible.
And here we are. All right, fellas. We need to get this one done. I just noticing there's no for your wild predictions. There's no ramifications listed for many of your predictions. I'm just
there's one right there. There's obviously that one's ridiculous, the Kyle Pitts one. But I mean, I give you $100 if the Chargers win one more game. All right.
No, they need to win out for that. Ain't they 8-6? They need to win out for that one.
I'm sorry, if the Chargers don't lose one more game, is what I meant to say.
They need to win out.
They need to win out.
All right, man. Let's take a quick break here. We come back, man. We're gonna get into some NBA conversations. We're gonna talk about your Lakers. We're gonna talk about those Lakers. That's gonna get me. What's the Lakers gonna get me? Lakers gonna give me Daniels. Right here, Lakers gonna give me Daniels right there. So I'm rooting for the Lakers and crypto. Let's take a little break here, right here, man. Come back. We're gonna have our NBA conversations. You good? Are you ready to keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Once again, fans, thank you guys for sticking and staying with us. This is week 171 of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Come on, man, Cleveland and Northwest Cleveland. What's the weather like up there?
Cold and rainy, Cam. It's somewhat miserable, to be honest.
Oh man, it's rainy down here, man. I done got a raincoat out the trunk of the car, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I heard. I talked to my cousin down there, and she was not happy about the forecast.
Yeah, man. Next couple of days,
I couldn't shed too many tears for her because she's from here, so
Yeah, man. The next couple of days, it's a bad look down here, man. So just as they shutting down Staples, it's gloomy days down here, and everybody seems to be shedding a tear for Staples Center. And while we're on that topic in the NBA, just let the people know, what was your favorite? Do you have a favorite memory of Staples Center?
My favorite memory of Staples Center has got to be Game 7 against Portland 2000. Mm-hmm. I don't really think anything will ever, really kind of equal that. That was earth shattering.
Kobe did put up 81 in Staples.
Yeah, that's not the same as winning Game 7 down by 10 in the fourth quarter.
I mean, Derek Fisher 0.4 seconds on the clock.
That wasn't in Staples.
That wasn't Staples.
No one.
Again, Derek Fisher 0.4 seconds was too against at Staples.
No one.
All right, give me another moment. Give me another moment.
Oh, another moment. Kobe going for 60 on his way out.
Yeah, there you go. So that wasn't bigger than Oh, that was San Antonio. You're right. Good call. Um, hmm. Not, 2008, 2009 didn't mean nothing.
None of those are
What,
bigger than
2009,
Game 7 in 2000. None of those are bigger.
That was a big moment. I'm just trying to find a bigger moment because that was a we've arrived moment right there. That's what that was. We've arrived, and they finally in the whole argument between the two of them was, can they share the ball? Can they play together? Um, is Kobe a ball hog? Shaq just wants the ball. But that moment right there, that moment that you're speaking of, showed that they could play together, that Kobe can pass the ball, and that Shaq is the most dominant ever. And I that was a I've arrived moment, and I'm not sure why that moment didn't grow and develop into more moments like that. Because clearly nobody
It
can.
grew into three straight championships. What do you mean?
No, it didn't grow into Kobe averaging 12 assists a game, which I thought
Because
it
Kobe
made.
was never going to average. He was never going to pass the ball that many times. Come on. What are you talking about?
That play was evidence when they needed of how they should be playing. And
that was in massive desperation, and they were never
exactly.
and they were never
but,
in massive desperation ever again, man. No. They won 3 straight championships. They lost 1 year to San Antonio, and they went back to the final the very next year. And then the very next year, they traded Shaq. They were never in desperation after that.
I don't know. That was a huge moment in Laker history at Staples Center. Now, I think they put up the cripple. I'm gonna go across the street and see if they put up the crypto sign tonight. I think it's already up.
See, walking over there in Crip House.
But yeah, that was a huge moment. Is there another moment? I mean, Staples Center, there've been.
I mean, there's obviously, and I'm remiss to not bring up the Robert Horry jumper against Sacramento. I mean, kick out, Big Shot Bob. I mean, that's
kick out.
kind of what he does.
Kick out. What are you talking about? Kick out. That was
Vladdy.
That was a lucky
Vladdy
tip out.
tapping the ball out, and he just happened to go right into the hands of Robert Horry for series saving jumper.
I'm glad you said this. That was not only a series saving, that was a career altering jumper.
Hey, Kim, I'm so sorry. I didn't give you enough time. Share some of your moments on the Clipper side of that. That's so wonderful.
Steph Curry crossing up Chris Paul on the corner baseline there. I don't know if you remember. He put him on a twister board. I don't know if you remember that. Kevin Durant going for 50 in the playoffs against the Clippers.
Well, these memories aren't quite as pleasant from what I'm hearing. So yeah,
I know they were great NBA moments. They were fantastic NBA moments.
I'm sorry, I thought we were trying to be on the pleasant side of things, not just.
I mean, for the Clippers, I mean, it's
that's cool. I'm sorry. We can move on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trip you up right there.
Listen to
you got DeAndre
Jordan.
Say.
Oh, you got Lob City.
I just said so.
Yeah, Lob City all day long.
Okay, cool. All right then.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Steph breaking the 3-point record? Like in 1,300 less games than it took Ray Allen to make the same amount of threes. Steph did it in 1,300 less games.
He didn't do it in 1,300 less games.
Yeah, he did. I think Ray Allen, it took 2,000 games. Steph did it in 780 games. Yeah. 1,300 less.
Well, games. That's a staggering statistic if that's actually a true thing, man. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on Steph Curry? Can you confidently say now he's the greatest shooter ever?
Sure. If he did something like that, I mean, it was Always somewhat debatable, but I mean, yeah. I mean,
here Ray Allen
if you put in
had
that kind of
1,300
context,
games.
that's crazy.
Ray Allen had 13. He played 1,300 games, exactly 1,300 games in his career.
So Ray Allen played 1,300 games. Okay.
Exactly 1,300 games.
Okay. And how many games has Steph Curry played?
I'm about to pull it up right now. 791.
So he did it in 508 less games.
500 less games.
As
So
opposed to
I
1,300 less games.
I had to
that
reverse.
makes more sense.
I had to reverse.
Okay, so he did it in like 4 less seasons. Okay. Or I'm sorry, 6 less seasons. Yes. That's still quite impressive, considering what a marksman Ray Allen was. So
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It definitely solidifies his claim as the greatest shooter of all time.
The Los Angeles Clippers, they beat the Suns, the same Suns who the Lakers can't seem to get over. What's your thoughts on the Clippers? What's your thoughts on the Lakers? Talk to us.
Great win over the Phoenix Suns. I think they had some COVID issues and they were a little bit tired.
Oh my God!
Going into the holiday season.
So they're looking ahead.
Christmas on Saturdays.
Okay, so the Lakers' excuse, they beat the Lakers. So what's the Lakers' excuse? Earlier, they just trounced the Lakers.
The Lakers' second or third best player is a little bit of a challenge staying healthy and on the court. So we can't really say exactly what's going to happen with the full team, but they weren't playing the Phoenix Suns with their full team. Not to say the Clippers were playing the Phoenix Suns with their full team, but
exactly.
I mean,
so come on, what are we talking about here? It's a different thing.
But the Phoenix Suns try harder against the other Staples Center resident.
All of a sudden now they try harder.
With the purple and gold and the one in the red and gold.
So. Ain't this a bitch? So now your excuse is that they try harder to win these games.
They try harder. They use it more as a barometer as to what greatness really looks like, as opposed to no disrespect to Mr. Ballmer. I know what you're trying to do, kind of change the culture and landscape of things, but at present, it means more to beat the Lakers than it does to beat the Clippers. That's a fact.
So the 6th-seeded team in the West, aren't even the 6th seed anymore? I mean, they've been doing so much losing here recently. I don't even know if they're still the 6th seed. Are they
6-7, somewhere in there right now? 6-7.
6-7. Oh, listen to them. Just somewhere in there right now. But you want to say that the teams don't even get up for the Clippers. That's what the logic you're going to use, and the reasoning that they're in. Your Lakers can't win a game is because fans don't get up.
No. My reason for why the Phoenix Suns beat the Clippers, lost to the Clippers, but didn't beat the Lakers.
Yeah, shame on you. Shame on you, man. Shame on you for that right there. Who they got tonight? And San Antonio's already getting in them 14-11. It's already happening. San Antonio's already playing.
14-11. Yeah, that's a blowout.
Already happening
in a basketball game in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, okay, what's up with AD? I mean, he needs some euphoria ointment on his joints to stay healthy.
Anthony Davis is a really good player when he's healthy.
When is that? I mean, you're not saying much. When is that?
Okay, well, wow. Okay, well, I guess that is the in and of itself the problem, right? When he's healthy. So I can't really say anything about what he's capable of doing unless he's on the court. So
Anthony Davis for Ben Simmons. Would Anthony Davis for Ben Simmons? Would you make that trade?
No.
Ben Simmons plays games.
Ben Simmons can't shoot.
But he can play. He can play defense that your guy LeBron James doesn't play anymore.
He sure can, but the Lakers need scoring. That's their problem.
Okay, so you're gonna open up the gate for Russell. Russell go score 40 a game.
He's had carte blanche the whole time. He just hasn't taken advantage of it. So it's up to him to do that.
So what? Why be Link Monk? You see his tweet, free Malik. What's up with that tweet, Malik?
Malik has had plenty of opportunity to step in and be what they thought he was going to be, and he has not answered the bell.
He's not answered the bell. Is he?
No.
Is your coach giving him the opportunity?
Absolutely, he's had multiple opportunities to pull the trigger and never has. I've been waiting. Everybody's been waiting. It's not for lack of opportunity. If he thinks he can do more somewhere else, by all means. This team needs it more than any other team in the league, and he's not providing it. So, yeah, he would open up everything if he was half of what they thought he was going to be.
So now you're turning your struggles and blaming young guys on the squad.
Not blaming, but don't throw me some free Malik Monk. Man, get out, be gone.
Now he wants the young guys out of there. So who do you want left on your squad? You're just gonna have Carmelo. You're just gonna have Carmelo, Russ, and LeBron. That's it. I mean, you want a jersey?
Trevor Ariza.
Oh, ain't that a bitch?
You can stick around.
Okay, you can. And DeAndre
Dwight Howard can get some awards.
Oh, so at least you can run 5 old guys out there. At least you got 5 guys you can name. Because you sound like you want to get rid of everybody. You even want to get rid of Baines? What about Baines with the big jumper? You know, he got the big kick out for us.
He can stick around. Reeves, he can stick around. My guy Horton Tucker, he can stick around. Ray John, we're waiting for the playoffs, one more time. Last time, but he can stick around.
So in the last week, our NBA Supremacy Rankings, let's just see how they change. Mine didn't change from last week. Did yours change? You had the Suns number 1. Then you switched to having this week you had the Golden State Warriors number 1, 76ers number 2. So the Suns lose.
I had Golden State and then Phoenix and then Brooklyn.
Golden State, Phoenix. Okay, so that should not the Sixers. That should be the Suns, the Nets, the Jazz, and the Bucks. Is that what you got?
Yes.
So you got Phoenix. They lose to the Clippers. They get demoted, huh? That's how you have it.
I'm losing to the Clippers.
Oh my goodness! When you guys lost to the Clippers,
you don't see the Lakers in the top 5, do you?
Well, no, it hasn't been for years, actually. NBA, we miss anything else in the NBA on the NBA circuit? I mean, how do you think the Bulls have postponed their games for health and safety reasons? Do you think the NBA? There was talk about somebody asked me the other day, have you heard that the NBA might cancel the game on Saturday? I was
Cam, I'm so sorry. Never mind that. What we are missing is the fact that for that other Daniels dinner, where the MVP of the league will his country of origin will be from.
Who you have winning who's the MVP? Who's in the MVP race right now?
From a country other than the United States, you tell me.
Jokic is
is he in the conversation?
I mean, he's injured.
No, not really. Okay, Luka. So I'm sorry. What are you saying?
Well, Jokic is alone actually because everybody's injured around him.
Okay, so he's not in the conversation.
Luka's not in the conversation.
Luka's not in the conversation.
Who's in the conversation? This ain't no cut and dry. It's something cut and dry. Who do you have winning the MVP? It's not LeBron James.
Perhaps you should read it again. Read it again, Cam.
No, the question is.
I'll read it for you.
The next NBA
MVP will be an American-born player, says Cleavon for a Daniels dinner.
Who do you have in leading this race?
Well, I have Steph Curry leading the race.
Ooh.
I have Kevin Durant as a close second. I have Devin Booker as a third.
Oh, all of a sudden, Devin Booker gets some credit now. All of a sudden, Devin Booker gets some credit now. He ain't got
and who do you have on your MVP board?
Oh man, I think it's Steph alone right now.
Oh, okay. So then that statement rings abundantly true then. Cool.
But we have, on to
your next topic. I'm sorry, you were asking some other topics that we were talking about.
We do have 5 months for this to vet itself out.
Sure, yeah, man.
But as of this moment, as of this moment, I mean, the season it's Christmas. It's Christmas on Saturday, so the season just started, as you already know, in the NBA.
Sure.
So we got a long way to go before.
Sure. And maybe Serge Ibaka can turn it on. We'll see.
Or maybe Paul George. Paul George, he's carrying the Clippers. Maybe he turns it on.
No, he's born in the United States, so that just goes, more to my point. So
we'll see. Again, we got a long way to go before this before this is actually, before I actually win this bet. So let's be patient with this one. The season,
let that one marinate, unlike the other ones.
The season's just getting started. Well, I mean, we can always go right back to this one here.
I know.
I always go right back.
Almost the same timeline, but sure.
I mean, this one here, right here, we can go back to that one there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how we didn't come up with anything. There's not even Ivers on the table for that one. I don't even get it.
That's. I mean, you're the one orchestrating this. I don't know.
Man, that's surprising. That's surprising that there's no lack of confidence that you don't even put anything on it. I put something on my bets. When I say something, I put something on it.
Well, I put something on it too. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, I put $100 on what I was thinking. What happened there? I don't know.
That's one bet. That's one bet. Anyway, we're gonna come back to it, man. So let's take a little quick break here, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk about this week in history. This guy got predictions and not even no penalties for making these outlandish statements. We can't let this happen more, friends.
Am I supposed to like articulate this on the? I don't run the ticker, man.
The Mariners win the playoffs. I mean, come on.
I don't run the ticker, Mariners, so I mean,
the Mariners make the playoffs. Again, another false statement by Cleveland.
You run the ticker.
That has no penalty right there. There's no confidence. There's no confidence in the conviction.
There absolutely is. I mean, I can't recall what exactly it was, but that's up to you to make it publicly known.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna have to hold you. We're gonna have to hold you accountable.
But yeah, we're going to the Brazilian joint. Yeah, as soon as you get down, as soon as you touch down.
Oh, he look at it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I'll be in LA in March. So work that out.
All right, man, let's talk about this week in history. December 26th, we have Kwanzaa begin. Have Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all you guys tuning into the show. We appreciate your time and support over the past years. But Kwanzaa begins on Saturday, so happy Kwanzaa to all those who participate. December 23rd, 1919, Alice Parker received a patent for the gas heating furnace. I'm sure you appreciate that, huh, Miss Parker? Why don't they call that Parker burner or something? We don't hear it. Did you know that, Alice Parker?
I did not.
Yeah. December 25th, 1971, obviously Jesse Jackson and Operation Push, People United to Save Humanity, was his venture he started in 1971. December 22nd, 1996, Utah Jazz's Karl Malone becomes the 11th player to get 20,000 points and 10,000 rebounds. 20,000 points and 10,000 rebounds. Only the 11th player to do so, and all the players that played in the NBA. Karl Malone did that. On the same day, actually, December 22nd, 1996, Cordell Stewart ran for an 80-yard touchdown against Carolina. It was, at the time, it was the longest scored touchdown by an NFL quarterback. That was December 22nd, 1996. So Cleveland, we got a few different topics, so kind of a multiple topics here that we're going to discuss here in this next segment. What's your thoughts on Kyrie being allowed to play road games for the Nets?
I'm indifferent about it. Yeah, there's just so much COVID controversy. I don't even want to really speak on it other than to say, okay.
That's it? Oh, just okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's find it pretty peculiar. Like, I don't know why they went back on it, unless KD said we need the guy on the court. And if that was the reason, I guess you're good with that. But I'd be good with that. But other than that, I don't know why the Nets would kind of
Timing
adjust
is
it.
weird, and everything about it is weird. But it's like,
Yeah,
okay, man, okay.
yeah. I don't know why the Nets would adjust their ruling. Um, Man, just as we predicted, you and I predicted, Urban Meyer would not would not finish out his contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he had at several points of this season. It looked like he might have been out the door, but when he kicked the place kicker in preseason, that report came out, and that was enough for Shad Khan to say enough's enough. Urban Meyer gets dismissed 14 weeks into his career. Your thoughts on Urban Meyer getting ousted in Jacksonville?
It's I don't want to say unfortunate because, like you're saying, Urban Meyer's pretty much had a sketchy past for a while. His last two, stops before here, Florida and Ohio State, there were just multiple reports that came out. He's not a leader of men; he's a controller of boys. So that's a different thing. There's just too many times when everyone uses the same, language and verbiage for how they categorize him or what they're missing, and you just say leadership too many times, and um, just his ability to not treat grown men like adults is going to be a problem. So we saw it, we foreshadowed it. It's just a reality now, is all.
Does he end up coaching again?
Oh, for sure, he gets a head
He's not
coaching
going to
job
be.
in
He's not going to be
college.
a coach in the NFL, obviously. But does he end up coaching in college again?
Texas.
Texas, you got to go right to the Big Five school.
Oh, for yeah. I mean, all those schools that hired other coaches, they're somewhat disappointed that the timing is such that they couldn't hire Urban Meyer when
Really,
they would have wanted to. Yeah,
really. So this is no scar in his record at all.
not succeeding in the NFL, no, it doesn't mean anything with regards to what he can do in college. No,
Wow, surprise! That's surprising to hear. I think it's going to be a few years. Okay, so you're saying the coaches or colleges are upset because the timing of it. They hired a coach when they would have rather hired Urban Meyer had he been available. Um,
correct.
so are you saying he coaches next season? Then?
He doesn't coach next season because all of the top spots have been taken. The only one I can really think of where he might have a chance would be Notre Dame, and I think it might be a little bit too stringent for him. I think a school much more fitting to him would be a major SEC school that was needing to make a a statement, or a major Pac-12 school that needed to make a statement.
I don't think he's going to be in the Pac-12. I'm almost confident of that.
Well, I mean, the fact that they scooped up, Oklahoma's coach at SC, but we don't know what Chip Kelly is going to do. We don't know how that's going to work out at Oregon. I mean, I think Urban Meyer would be a good fit either one of those places.
Chip Kelly. So Chip Kelly obviously coaches former Oregon Ducks head coach, inventor, if you will, kind of reinvented Oregon Ducks. Now coaching at UCLA. Um, there was talk that Chip Kelly should kind of get out of town now uh, before the shadow of Lincoln Riley covers over LA and go back to Oregon. I was like, I thought about that. I'm like, that would look so soft and spongy if you were Chip
Well,
Kelly to
he was
do
just
that.
going home. I mean, that's
No,
kind of
he's not
that
going
was kind of
home.
what was going on. I mean,
He's not
it's the same
from
thing that
Oregon.
happened when Oregon.
No, stop it.
I'm sorry, when
Just,
Miami
don't
poached
try to
Cristobal from
justify this.
Oregon.
No, no, no,
Oregon was
no,
just going to poach
no,
Chip Kelly
no,
from UCLA.
no,
It's the same
no,
thing.
no, no, no. UCLA is a preeminent college in it's a top-notch college. It's not top-notch college football. He was there to address college football and make them relevant in college football. Him going to Oregon, there's not too many opportunities. There's not too many times you would take Oregon over West LA, Westwood in Los Angeles. There's very rarely will that happen. and most times that has to do with your significant other wanting to be home, wanting to be close to home. Would you make that type of decision? Going, that's not even on par to Miami poaching a former player, a former coach of theirs in Mario Cristobal. That's not the same. That's not nearly the same.
It's
That's
absolutely it's
that's that's
absolutely the
that's
same. This is the coach.
that's
This is the coach that
Kelly
brought the
going back.
University of Oregon to a national championship
No,
game.
man, come on, stop it. That's
And
not
he
the same.
left and went to the pros. He
That's
saw
not.
he's not really a pro coach for the same reasons Urban Meyer saw he's not really a pro coach. And so the opportunity when he came back wasn't there because they already had Cristobal. But then once Cristobal left, it's like, okay, well, come on back home.
You don't leave UCLA to go to Oregon. I don't care if you're talking
It's
about
a better
coaching.
job at this
I
at
don't.
this
I don't.
point.
I
At
don't know
this
if you're
point in
talking about
2022, it is a better job. Now,
the.
whether he actually wants to, kind of play out what he's been doing here and ride this out, that's fine. And how he left before, I mean, maybe he feels like he's coming back with his tail between his legs. That's fine. That's up to him. But the
You,
University of
you,
Oregon is a
you,
better job than UCLA as far as
you,
college football is concerned right now. It's not like he's taking a step down to go to Oregon. He's taking a step up to go back to Oregon.
no, that's a lateral move at best.
It's a vertical move.
It's not no
It's
vertical.
Phil Knight's money. It's Nike's money. It's Nike's facilities.
Do you haven't been to UCLA and
I have been to
Westbrook?
UCLA.
You haven't walked through that campus.
I have seen that campus.
You don't think you've like the only thing I don't know in Corvallis. I don't know where the football
It's in
stadium
Eugene.
is.
It's in Eugene.
Excuse me. I don't know where the football stadium is in Eugene in reference to the college campus.
Well,
But
that makes no difference with regards to how well the team plays and how much money they put into actually winning football games. And Oregon puts more money in than UCLA does.
I'm struggling. I'm fans. Fans, you're gonna have to tell me what is the better job? Is the better job the head football coach of the UCLA Bruins, or the better job the head football coach of the Oregon Ducks? You can find me on. Hit me up on What's Good in Sport at Twitter. That's What's Good, the letter N, Sport Singular on Twitter. What is the better job? UCLA head coach, UCLA men's football head coach, or the Oregon Ducks men's football head coach? Cleveland, I'm not sure about that one, bro. I can't ride with you on that one. I can't ride with you. I can't ride with you on that one.
Sure.
I can't ride with you. I think it would be a lateral move at best. Lateral move at best is definitely not a step up. I do understand that the money that's poured into the college um, by Phil Knight, I 100% get that being a differentiator, but that doesn't make the skies blue. that doesn't put you on the Pacific Coast. That doesn't put you in Southern California. Um, it does some good things. Don't get me wrong. It does a lot of good things. It just doesn't put you in the position that UCLA, the head coach of the UCLA Bruins, put you. So I think differently in that. Darren Williams beats Frank Gore. Is that how you had it? I didn't get your pick
No,
last
I
week.
had the Liberty City Brawler winning that one. That was kind of a surprise, to be perfectly honest with you. Wow, I didn't see the fight, so I don't know how it went down. But wow,
yeah, they were both love tapping each other. And Derek Williams won on points.
Gotcha.
Jake Paul, though, I'm sure you saw that knockout. He put Tyrone Wood to sleep. I'm sure you
Yeah,
had to see
Tyrone
that.
Woodley got nothing. Yeah. He needs to
And I feel
suspend all
that
of
one.
his social media accounts and just go on and just live
I
his
feel
life as a
bad.
regular person.
I feel bad for Tyrone Woodley, man. You have built up so much credibility as a UFC champion that you let this guy drop you. You let him beat you one time and then come back and beat you a second time, drop you a second time. Like, ooh, like Tyrone, yeah. Suspend your accounts, take your couple meal, and go chill. Find a nice island somewhere, and we'll see you next year sometime.
Sure. As a regular person, no more of this. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't even think he can commentate boxing because he was a commentator. He was a big time commentator in UFC. I don't think he can do that anymore. It'll be like Woodley. What happened? What happened with Paul?
Yeah,
Two
it will
times
always
in a
come back.
row.
It will always come back to that. Yeah.
Twice
In
in a
slow
row,
motion.
like
Yeah.
twice. You didn't even beat him and then lose a rubber match. You lost two times back to back, two consecutive knockouts, and the second one was worse than the first one. God. But Cleveland, talking about knockouts, man. We got Mario Barrios has just been announced earlier this week. Mario Barrios, you remember him? He most not the most recent loss, but his most recent loss was to Gervonta Tate Davis. He's taking on Keith one-time Thurman, February 5th in Las Vegas. Mario Barrios, Keith Thurman in Vegas, February 5th, a week before the Super Bowl. Who you got?
Oh man, I got Barrios, man.
Yeah, you coming around. You coming around.
No, man. Keith Thurman is not interested in fighting no more, man. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's gonna be an ugly look.
You know why I say that, right, Ken?
Why is that?
Because before his last fight, you saw how he was, right, in the dressing room before the fight.
How's that? I don't recall.
Oh, he was all, hugging and kissing on his newly married wife and stuff, man. He seemed very disinterested in going out and fighting a 12-round fight. He seemed very disinterested in like going out to go into combat with somebody. Yeah, man.
Okay. Um, yeah, Keith. So I got Barrios too. I think that's gonna be a good one. Not sure if I'll be in the house there yet, but it'll be a good one. Um, the NHL postpones their season for 1 week. Thoughts on the NHL proposal postponing their season?
Not completely mad at it. I'm sure the fans are probably a little bit disappointed, but I mean, on some level, I give them a lot of credit and respect for kind of trying to see where this thing may go and how they can kind of be proactive with regards to kind of slowing this whole thing down so they can have a regular normal season wherein they don't have to have a bunch of forfeitures. I mean, it's one of the games other than football, I guess football and basketball being the closest, obviously, right? But where there's a lot of close contact and not a lot of players. So they're taking a different look at it, a different approach to it, and kind of stepping back and letting everyone kind of get
Yeah,
themselves together and going forward.
yeah,
Not
I
upset at it
appreciate
at
it.
all.
I appreciate it. As we know, it's not the NFL, it's not the NBA. But yeah, I appreciate what they're doing. As you mentioned, it's kind of stop things. There was I heard a quote in regards to kind of controlling this variants and this virus that's spreading a pandemic that's spreading the world. Um, these these new variants are are popping up in unvaccinated cities and states and areas. So where you're not those who are not vaccinated are contributing to the creation of these new variants. Get vaccinated, folks. Get vaccinated. Got the vaccination done. Just got my booster yesterday. My arm actually feels like it's back to its normal size. So go get your booster. Go get vaccinated. So we as a society can kind of control this thing as best as possible. We can get back to some normalcy, man. Come on, fans, or come on, folks, do your part, man. Do your part to protect the world, protect everybody around you. Cleveland, in closing, man, let's look at this. Our picks for this last week here. I got New Orleans over the Dolphins on Monday night. You got the Dolphins.
I'm sorry, who you got? You got New Orleans?
I got New Orleans.
Okay.
Yes, New Orleans -3. That's you heard me. I said it correctly. The fans heard what I said. I got Baltimore over Cincinnati. You got Cincinnati. You
Oh,
got
okay.
you got Minnesota over the Rams. Explain your decision there.
Yeah, I mean the Rams are still kind of a work in progress, chemistry, COVID issues, and the Vikings are desperate.
Okay. You got. Do I have this right? Who do you have? Jacksonville over the Giants? No, the Giants. Who do you have over the Giants? Giants play the Eagles. Who do you have winning that game?
I have the Eagles beating the Giants.
You got the Eagles beating the Giants? Okay, I need to change that. Let me get that changed right now.
I believe I have the Jaguars beating the Texans, I believe.
You have the what now?
Isn't that how I have that?
You have. Let me get this changed real quick because you have the Eagles over the Giants, and you have the Jaguars over the Jets.
Yes.
That's what you have. You just want to save this real quick, make this change. Just so it's documented, man. Need to keep my documents fresh, man, because some people be thinking I'd be up to some funny stuff when
for sure. And I'm one of those people. And I'm so sorry, fans. I digress. I was getting confused with that because I was trying to put together my conference finals team for the fantasy football league. So I got distracted a little bit.
I'm already in the conference championship. That's already been done.
Oh, and the voice of the fans league, are you?
No, it's the nation's best fantasy football.
My other league. Nobody wants about your other league, Cam. We're talking about the voice of the fans league. What we've been talking about for 17 weeks. That's what we talk about.
No playoff action for that one.
Yeah.
Right
we talk about your side hustle, man. Nobody care about that.
Also, you got Denver over the Raiders. Talk about that.
Denver's a better team. Better running game, better receivers. I don't believe in the Raiders. Do you? I can't see why you would, but that's up to you.
I got the Raiders beating Denver this week, so we'll see how things transpires, man. We'll see how things transpire. It's been a pretty cool week, Cleveland. As I say, a Merry Christmas to you and your family with Christmas days away, and we'll have one more show before the New Year, man. So we can catch you fans next week. Let me leave you guys with this quote here. You can put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the further you get. So you can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the farther you get. And that's from our accomplished Olympic swimmer, Michael Phelps. One more time for you. You can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the farther you get. So keep dreaming, fans. Cleveland, keep dreaming and thinking that your Lakers have opportunity to do something. Because in reality, it's you're going to be buying a dinner at Daniel's for me here come June. So, and that one you can't dream that away. But I want to thank you fans for tuning in. Thank Cleveland for coming back, man. We appreciate you. Going through some tough times, man. So thanks for sticking with us on the Voice of the Fans podcast. And Cleveland, we'll talk to you next week, man. Enjoy your Christmas and Merry Christmas to you and the wifey.
Sounds like a plan, bro. Happy holidays to yourself, and look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, talk to you soon, man.